You know, I think I have an obsession, guys. I really do. It may be Gunpla, or it may be DC Multiverse. That's right, guys. We've got the Futures in Batman wave here today. I've got all 4 figures. Let's get these out of the box and let's take a look at them. It's time for Outside the Box. What's going on, comrades? It's your Supreme Leader Kouldbayne here, and today for Outside the Box, I've got not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 figures from the DC's Futures End, or DC Multiverse, Batman's Futures End wave. Now, these are all part of the Batman Beyond wave as well. I loved Batman Beyond. I didn't get to watch it a lot as a kid just because I worked on Saturdays at my granddad's farm, so usually when it would air, I would always miss it. Huge Batman fan, though, and I love the design of Batman Beyond. I love the futuristic approach of it. So, it was really cool to me. But yeah, we've got so many different figures here in this wave. I'm excited for it. Let's go ahead and get started with figure number 1, which is going to be Batman Beyond. So it comes with the torso and head attached, which is different because a lot of times nowadays the newer waves don't do the head attached to the body. Instead, you have to like put it on there. So that's a first. All right, we're cutting it free from the box. Now I wonder how much work it's going to be to get everything out of this. I see there's a ton of rubber bands on all this already. All right, is that stand any different? So normally with the Mcfarlane toys, we don't get a different stand for our figures. Instead, it's just a DC puck. So if it's that way, I'm not going to sit here and take all these pucks out. Nope, it's a DC puck. Again, basic run-of-the-mill DC puck. Nothing fancy there. Let's get the art card out, because you know we do that first. We always show off the art card here. Alright, got that out of the box. And here's the art card. I'll let y'all see that real quick, if it'll focus. There it goes. So there's the Batman Beyond DC art card. Really a beautiful piece of art. And it says here, the real name is Terry McGinnis. Terrence Terry McGinnis. Terry McGinnis was just an ordinary teenager until his father was mysteriously killed. Suspecting foul play, Terry meets an older, bitter Bruce Wayne and learns the secret hidden for decades. When Bruce refuses to help, Terry steals and dons a high-tech, tricked-out bat suit in a quest to avenge his father's death as Batman. So I'll bring that up a little closer so y'all can see the. There you go. If you want to pause it there just to kind of read that. Same exact thing I just read to you. But let's go ahead and get the figures out here. We'll go ahead and get started with our Batman Beyond figure. Doesn't look like he's held in by too much. Looks like just 1 rubber band so far that I see. His cape, however, is kind of secured to the back a little bit. Go ahead and get all of his accessories out. Now, like I said, I didn't watch much of Batman Beyond, but it was still one of my favorites when I could catch the episodes. Oh, my throat's a little scratchy today. Probably from just waking up good, to be honest. I literally get up, get my chores done around the house, and then come in and film. Alright, we got the accessories out. I'll try to cut against one of these rubber bands here. Alright, that should almost free up. Okay, this is a different design here for the Build-A-Fig piece. And the plastic is well molded around both the figure and the Build-A-Fig. So hats off to Mcfarlane for putting it in really good plastic there. It does come with a couple of extra hands here. Which one of them just fell? Let's see if we can find it. It fell right down by my feet and rolled a little. I really need a light. And a good vacuum. God, that's sturdy. Thought I cleaned all that up. I guess not. Alright, well I lost one of the hands for now. I'll find it later, but... I thought I heard it roll. Wait, nope, it fell back in the box. Nice, okay. Good, that's where I wanted it to go. But... it does... this figure comes with several accessories here. We got the... of course, the Batman Beyond with the cape. The cape is really cool here because you can fold it back up and it kind of just crisscross patterns into the shape that it came in, or it kind of crisscross. It kind of closes up into that pattern there. Is there a reason why there's? Oh, cool. So you can kind of slide. You can kind of put his arms out in a way, and it'll connect to the cape as well. Let me see if I can get that to work. Trying to work with that gimmick real quick just so I can show you. But here's the figure, guys. There it is with the wings attached to the cape there, or to the arms there. Really just a cool looking figure. That's for a gliding effect, I believe. I can't remember. Again, it's been so long since I've watched the show. I'm not super well versed on things, but let's look at this sculpt real quick, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, they're just really well sculpted. Just a beautiful looking figure. It's got really good range of motion there in the hips. Knee joints are really well done. It looks like it's a singular knee joint versus like a double knee. No, it's a singular. It's a singular. I was kind of getting excited. I mean, well, no, there is a secondary bend there, but to get it, you almost have to. Yeah, you got to kind of pop it. There we go. I had to pop it a little bit. You do have a secondary bend here to kind of get that extra knee joint in. It's a little stiff, so you got to work with it a little bit. Hip joints, there really isn't a hip swivel. Instead, you got a torso swivel, and that's about all you got. The cape is cool because it can connect to the arms. Let's take it off of the arms, though, and just kind of... well, I was going to try to fold it back up. It does fold up into a nice little cape there. Arm joints do click up to a certain degree. It's super posable though compared to like others. I love the hand design here. That kind of clawed hand versus like a traditional Batman glove. And yeah, it's just a really well done figure. I mean, hats off to Mcfarlane. That's a really good Batman Beyond figure. I love the sculpt of the head here as well, because you got these little, like, you got the very it's a very techy looking suit. Okay, so, you know, it comes with 2 accessories as well. He comes with 2 of his more advanced batarangs there. Just really cool looking figure. And then we get our first part of the Build-A-Fig, which is the torso with the head attached. Again, that's kind of weird to see a head attached to a torso in a Mcfarlane figure. But the cool thing about the head is you can turn it around, and you got your Joker there. So really just a solid figure there. I like that. It's looking like we're going to get a good wave here, guys. Looking like we got a good wave. All right, so next up, let's go ahead and find our next figure in the wave here, which is Shriek. We're going to go ahead and cut it out of the box here. Here's the Shriek box already, guys. Look at the design of that. It comes with the 2 arms there for the Build-A-Fig. And we're going to take those out and look at them and then get them attached to the Build-A-Fig after we review the figure here, of course. Try not to cut myself here while I do this. Alright, we got the figure out. Let's get the art card out. Again, the stand doesn't make a difference. It's got the same DC stand as like all the other figures here. Set my knife right there. And here is the art card. Trying to get it to focus. It does not like... My ring light is really bright on it, and it makes it hard to focus on it. There we go. There you go, so you can kind of see it a little bit there. I'm tilting it away from the light. Seems to be the best trick for that. And it says, real name is Walter Shreve. Walter Shreve was a skilled audio engineer living in Neo Gotham, trying to fund his research in the field of sonics. Unable to do so, Shreve used his highly advanced sound technology to build an armored suit capable of demolishing buildings with sonic blast. Going by the name Shriek, he was soon hired to destroy Batman and nearly succeeded, but lost his hearing in the ensuing battle. He was then sent to Blackgate Penitentiary, where he was able to continue his research behind bars. Since then, Shriek has managed to break out on occasion, each time seeking revenge against Batman and wreaking havoc on the citizens of Neo Gotham. So, if you're wanting to read it, there you go, you can pause right there. Now let's get everything out of the packaging here. I don't know if anything is holding it. Yep, we got a couple of rubber bands in place everywhere. Let's go ahead and get those free. Good lord, he is held in with a lot of rubber bands. I'm going to cut one of those from the front. I was going to try to cut it from the side, but it's warped a little bit. There we go. Do that. Okay, that one's already cut free. Make sure I've got everything cut free here before I start trying to pull everything out. Yeah, we've got everything in there rubber banded. I'm hoping I've got everything cut free. Oh, got one arm over here we missed. Jesus, that launched. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and get all of the accessories out first, so that way I can just pull the figure out without worrying about losing anything. There we go. Alright, so he's kind of got like a tragic backstory there. I mean, you know, wanting to advance his sciences and all that, and nobody took him seriously, so he, you know, went to, you know, he wanted to be able to fund it, so, yeah, I mean, it's kind of a sad story there for Shriek. But let's look at the figure here. Here he is, without any accessories on. It's a really loose figure. There's a lot of playability in that, which I love the pose. I do like the posability. I like the armor design as well. Shriek really does have a great armor design. Let's bring him a little closer so y'all can see that sculpt. Let me do this so it's trying to focus. It just doesn't quite get that it's got an autofocus feature. Okay, well, we're not gonna focus today, so sorry guys. Now we focus. Now we focus. Now we focus. But there it is right there, guys. Really a great sculpt. He comes with one accessory here that goes for his hand. You got to kind of work the fingers into the right spot there, so I'm going to try to do that. Try to do it on camera so y'all can see. There we go. So you can add that audio effect right there. It's really cool. I like that. That's a neat effect there. Let's put that accessory there. We'll put the art card here. That way I'm not dropping everything. And again, really great sculpt. Got some really loose joints though on this figure, which doesn't bother me too much because I'd rather him be loose than super tight. But posability, he's got some posability to him. Really super posable. You can get some really good angles on those poses there, so if you want to do like jumps or anything like that, makes a really good jumping figure. Yeah, sculpt is really good too. I love the helmet on this. That'd be an interesting cosplay to do. I mean, you wouldn't be able to see too well unless you had like clear plastic on, or clear plastic in certain spots. But let's go ahead and get the arms on the Build-A-Fig here. We got 2 arms. Okay, one of the armor rings just came out. Did another one come out? Make sure that nothing else came out there, because there was one armor ring on this and I didn't see the other one, unless it fell out whenever I pulled the part out. Guess not. Okay. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it did fall out. So let's pull that arm back out. That's just to kind of give it a little bit of, to fill in some of that gap there. It has these 2 little rings right here. You got to be very careful with that. They will come out. So I want to go ahead and get those in so that way it doesn't like slide out. Does that interfere? I think that interferes. So that they may actually just be there as a protective piece. But I want to try to get it in with those armor rings in place. There we go. That one went in. I heard the pop. And now let's do the same with the gun arm here. Now that's an interesting arm there. Again, I love the Batman Beyond series, so seeing this as a figure is kind of cool. Alright, I don't feel like that's... it's in. Loosely, but it's in. So here it is so far, looking pretty tanky, pretty beefy. But the arms go in super easy. They weren't difficult. That rubber gasket that's in there is kind of a nuisance, but it's understandable why it's there. Definitely adds to the mechanical nature of this. So next up, we've got number 3, which is Batwoman. And box art there. That kind of shows you the art card there. There you go. There's Batwoman right there. Let's go ahead and get her out. So we'll go ahead and slice open the tape. And again, not difficult figures to get out of their boxes. There's a lot more rubber banding on this, holding everything in place. Which to me, I don't mind, because that actually holds the figure in place in the box. Makes theft a little harder, because you got to cut it. You actually have to cut those rubber bands or pop the figure out. I have seen at my local Walmart, someone actually stole the backing off of a Drowned. Like they opened the Drowned up just for the art card. They didn't want anything else out of it, I guess. But this is Elena Grayson. When Batman Terry McGinnis disappears after losing his memory and having his identity stolen by Falseface, Dick Grayson's daughter, Elena, tracks down the Batsuit and takes it for herself, going against her father's wishes. She becomes Neo Gotham's newest superhero, but does her best to keep her identity a secret from him. Eventually, her father finds out, but it's too late. The city has a new protector, Batwoman. So, here's the art card. Again, it's the art on the back of the box there. I'll turn it so you can kind of see it. You can kind of see everybody facing off against each other there. We've got all of them facing off. And then you have the story on the back. Trying to get it to focus. There we go. Alright. But just pause right there if you wanted to read the card. It focused enough for y'all to get a good read. Alright, let's go ahead and cut this out of the box here. Or out of the packaging. She has the same, it's the same exact build almost as the Terry McGinnis Batman there. The only difference is it's more feminine shape. Comes with the exact same set accessories. So nothing different there. There really isn't anything different in this packaging. The hands are the same. There's a whole lot of rubber bands on these. I'm trying to free it without cutting the figure or any part of the figure. Might be easier just to go ahead and cut from the There we go. Alright, I've got her free. She did, however, keep one of those rubber bands. Alright, same exact figure as the Terry McGinnis. The only difference is it's the more feminine, and we have hair this time from the cowl. That cape is a little stiff. There we go. But you can, she's super posable as well. Here we go. There. Let me go ahead and pull up this sculpt there so you can kind of look at it. But like I said, the only difference there is the hair, the feminine features, obviously, and it's a really good, I mean, and the eyes are a little bit bigger. I like the fact that the eyes have more of a more menacing look to them compared to, like, the other figure. That hair sculpt was really good, too. I'll pull that up a little closer so you can see. But you can see that hair sculpt is really well done. Belt looks really good there. Compared to his belt, it's a lot. There are a lot more feminine features. She does have a little bit of a torso turn here. Her torso turn, that's a tongue twister, is really good. Her arms do have a good range of motion. She does have some split capability, but not a whole lot there. Just because the hip carve here is a little bit more rounded compared to his. His is more angular and therefore gives you kind of a more open. But yeah, she doesn't really do a good split there just because of the hip carve. Cape wise, it's the same cape. I mean, literally the same build of the figure, just more feminine. And again, same accessory, so nothing worth really showing off there as far as accessory goes. She gets the same batarangs as Batman Beyond. A really good figure. I mean, I'm not gonna knock it. It's a good figure. I'm not knocking it. It is a good figure. It's just, you know, I understand that she is Batwoman for that generation there, you know, so it's really cool. I mean, it's a cool figure. Got to push some of my plastic down there. It's starting to fall out of the trash. Alright. She comes with, like I said, the two Batarang accessories there, so I'll show off one of them there. There's nothing different. Her hands she comes with a set of hands as well. Nothing out of the ordinary there, but we get the legs here. And here are the legs for the figure. This is getting to be a really tall figure too, y'all. Alright, time to get the legs in place there. I've found that Mcfarlane legs can be a bit of a pain at times. I think I got it in place. I don't know yet. The figure is kind of sliding around a little bit. There is some looseness in the figure. And one of the arms just popped loose. Again, those arm joints really aren't, like, the best. With that little socket in there. I'm hoping that I got it right this time, so that way it just pops. Yeah, it pops back in place. It does pop back in place super easy. It's just really loose in there. And let's get that other leg on. Almost in place. There we go. And we got the legs in now. His arms do come loose if you kind of put pressure on those legs, so be careful whenever you... Well, I thought I had it in place. Okay. Carefully posing it. It does have some pretty good legs here. You got to be real careful when putting them in place, again, because the arms will pop loose, or if you pull them too hard, the legs do kind of... They don't really hold on well. And my dogs of ours all of a sudden heard me talking and figured they want to talk about this figure. But I mean, there it is right there, guys. Really a tall figure, too. I mean, that's really tall for a figure. Alright, I want to make sure I get that arm all the way in. That way it doesn't pull out if I try to play with it. But again, let's look at that that Batwoman one more time there. Really a nice looking figure. It's not a bad figure. It's not a bad figure. It's just, when you look at the comparison of the two, you literally got the same items for the same figure. And I get it. Batwoman and Batman Beyond are literally from the same universe, same timeline, all that jazz. So Makes sense that their bat suits look the same. Alright, so the last figure we have here is Blight. And that's a really neat looking figure there. Kind of curious to see how Blight plays out. What his art card says about him. Because again, like I said, I missed a lot of Batman Beyond because around that time was when I started working for my granddad on the farm, and I never really got to watch cartoons a lot. Like, I would get to watch like late night blocks, and that was never really on any late night blocks for me. I remember it was on WB, I want to say. I think it had a cartoon. I don't think it had a Cartoon Network run. I don't think it ever got a Cartoon Network run. But let's go ahead and get this figure out here. Again, we'll pull out the art card first. Okay. And here is the art card. As you can see, Blight's front and center there. I like the design of that. His real name is Derek Powers. After Bruce Wayne's health began to decline, Derek Powers, the corrupt CEO of Powers Technology, merged his company with Wayne's. With access to new assets, Powers used his vast resources to develop dangerous weapons for the government. After being exposed to one of his deadly chemical agents, Powers attempted to save his own life by experimenting on himself with large amounts of radiation. But the chemical agent's effects, coupled with the radiation, transformed him into a monster. Now Powers has become Blight, a radioactive metahuman with glowing translucent skin and a lethal touch. So, there's the story part of the art card there. Definitely a cool looking figure there. Definitely a cool art card there. I like that. Alright. So let's go ahead and get our nippers out here. We're going to go ahead and cut everything free from the packaging here. There's a whole lot of rubber bands on this, just because these parts are super thin. There's that one. Wow, there are a lot of rubber bands on this. We're getting all of the accessories free here. He only came with one extra hand, and I see why, because you're going to need it here in a minute for posing with the character. Alright. Let's get him out of the plastic. Oh, wow, there was a rubber band right there on his hand that I didn't see. Again, I'm kind of glad Mcfarlane has kind of done away with their rubber bands lately. Because that's a lot of rubber band waste there. Get all that rubber band off of me there. Literally, I'm pulling like multiple pieces of rubber band off of my leg right now, guys. A lot. Anyway, let's look at the figure here. So we have Blight. And one of the cool things right here, I want to kind of get that zoomed in there and see if y'all can see it. That skull in there. That's really cool. Wow, I was getting way too close to the camera there. But that skull is really... Got something tickling my foot there. But that skull is really well done there. The figure itself is really cool. I like this hand. You can kind of see that they've put some bone work on there. It's just a really solid looking figure. Really a tall figure too. I like that. It comes with an extra hand, so that if you want to get rid of the glowing hand, you've got his glove here. It's really cool. I really do wish... Oh, the head does come off super easy, by the way, so be careful about that. You can take the head off. And there you can kind of see it a little bit there. Just really, really well done. And it goes back in so well, but it does come off easy. You can turn the head to look around. It's got a great torso build. Really good joint work here. I like this. It's a really thick figure too. So not something that's it's not a bad figure. You can stretch out his arms and all that. Just a really cool figure. Like I said, I wish he had a light up effect. That would be really cool. Wonder if I put him up against. So if you put him up against like some lighting here, and I would use my cell phone, but I don't know how bright that's gonna be. Let's see. Yeah, that's just blinding it out. But you put a light against him, and I can't really do it. It's just gonna blind out the camera. Sorry, guys. But if you put him up against some lighting in the video, you know, and use the lighting on these clear plastic parts, it kind of shows off a little bit there, some of that translucence, and shows off that skull a little bit. That skull is really well designed in there too. I like that. Really a solid figure. I haven't really found a bad figure in this line. Alright, he comes with these two skeletal wings here. These two like metallic skeletal wings. So I'm gonna try to get those in place now. That'll be fun. And I got to figure out which one goes. I think that one would go. I imagine this one would go here, since it's kind of pointing outward. Let's see how hard these wings are to get in, because right now I can already tell you they're giving me a little bit of trouble. Alright, they slide in with a little bit of effort. You definitely got to put a little bit of pressure on them just to get them in place, but let's see how this looks with its wings. Easiest way to get them in is just line them up straight. And here it is with the wings, guys. Really some solid looking wings. You can kind of straighten them out there and they kind of point out. You can turn them sideways there. They will kind of angle out. They do have a pretty long reach as well. That's probably one of the widest reaches I've seen on a Mcfarlane figure. And let's see, how do they look tucked behind the back? Tucked behind the back, fingers down, angled like an actual wing. Not bad, not bad. Again, really, really well detailed figure, and the head does turn so you can kind of show off the Joker there. It's a really good figure. That was one of the reasons I wanted it, because it's really a very creepy looking Batman figure. Just a really solid figure. I love the Build-A-Figs from Mcfarlane more than I do the Marvel ones, and that's saying something there, because I mean, I'm a DC guy to begin. DC over Marvel guy to begin with. Like, I'm not a big fan of Marvel stuff too much. Like, I do like some Marvel figures, characters. Don't get me wrong. I love comic book characters. I love action. I love superheroes. I love stuff like that. But when it came down to it, I grew up more DC than Marvel, and it's just because of the age I grew up in was heavily influenced by DC movies. You got Batman and Superman both got movies at the same time. Ooh, that's not good. Alright, so I already found my first flaw with the wings there. If you bend them just ever too much, just a little too much bending, will result in a wing popping loose there. This joint right here pops loose super easy. Or no, up here. This joint up here pops loose super easy. But really, it's not a bad figure, guys. And not a bad price. I think I paid about... They're still going for around base price. Even though these figures have been out for a little bit. I got these actually on a good deal. I think I paid $70 for all four, which is a $30 difference there when it comes down to just the age of the figure. Really a great sculpt, really a great looking figure. I love those wings. Those wings are like my big seller there, but that's it for today's video, comrades. I want to thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Y'all can follow me on all of my social medias. There is a link tree in the description below that'll take you to those. Check that link tree as well for my merch shop, where you can snag some KBG merch to help support the channel. We are working towards our 1,000 subscriber goal. The goal is to get 1,000 by July 10th. For Nemariel / Jen's birthday. For those of you that know Nemariel, or Jen as you want to call her, that's my wonderful wife and a great mod in many communities. Definitely go out and help us get to that goal, guys. Thank y'all so much for watching, Much love, comrades, and das Vidania.